Hello guys, welcome to another channel. Sorry, what am I even saying? Yeah, welcome to my channel for another problem, another contest which I am going to give, and it is going to start in a while. And yeah, so we will see how much in a good way I can do this, how much better I have become since 1 year. Yeah, I have been doing this for a year now, and I don't know how much, like, why I am not improving. But yeah, I don't have any idea, uh, except for the fact that I might be unintelligent, and I don't know any other reason that I am not able to grow. I have really done a lot of questions, and still I am, not growing at all. People those who have done only 300, 400 questions, they reach night, and I am here doing almost I have done 532 questions, and still not a night. Anyways, that's really not the main issue. We all keep learning, and that's the spirit how it should be. It should not be like to chase rating and to chase make you feel unintelligent comparing with others. That's not the real idea. Yeah, you might be intelligent, but yeah, God has made you that way, and you have to accept it and move on. You might try to improve your intelligence by doing and doing, but yeah, it is only going to give you, you know, grief and sadness, because you know uh, you will always see your peers or your friends doing much better than you at some point, and you will lose hope that no matter what I do, I'm not actually getting there. So instead of thinking that in such a way, you should always think that we are learning. Each of the problem will improve your thinking capacity, will make you learn something new, right? So yeah, don't worry, there are always going to be smarter person than you, and if you always try to compare with them, you will always feel sad and discontent all the time, right? Anyways, so yeah, this is going to happen soon, and I might warn you, because I don't know what is wrong with my laptop. For the past two live stream that I am doing, it is automatically shutting down without my permission. The stream is automatically shut down. So it could happen today as well, so forgive me for that one. And the past two streams uh, that gave this issue, I actually made it private, so that I don't want you guys to see some bad videos, right? Even though all of the videos of me are pretty bad, but yeah, it's still, yeah, right. I don't want it to make it very very bad. Now you guys might say, zero से नीचे क्या हो सकता है, negative numbers and are also there. So yeah, I'm just trying to improve my live streams. Actually, I'm not trying to improve my live stream, to be honest. I don't really have a lot of time to, but yeah, still I should maintain the standards of the live stream, right? At least the standard that I can put on. Anyways, so yeah, it's going to start now. Let's see how much I can do, and I hope this is not public, if I remember correctly. I really hope that. Yeah. All right, guys. 15 and 14. 13. 10 seconds are left. Oh wait, something just happened. And let's join. Okay, I don't know what's wrong now. Okay. Yeah, this thing always happens. Okay, rearrange strings to avoid character pair. So as you can see, I have been given a string S and two distinct lowercase characters, right? English letters. Rearrange the character of S to construct a new string T such that T is a permutation of S. Alright. Every occurrence of Y appears before every occurrence of X. Yeah, this is a very good question. I mean this is quite an easy question, I think. Whenever I find really X, and whenever I find X, I'm just going to change it to Y. Wait, yeah, Y. Only if there is Y's, right? So what I'll do, I'll just try to create frequency of Y. So f of X, maybe this was not Python, so yeah, and ntf of Y. And I'd actually to be honest, I don't need another frequency f of Y, correct? Or do I really need that? Whenever I find X, I'm going to make it Y, and until all the, okay, let me just still do it. Okay, so for character S, C in S, if C is actually X, then I am going to increase this. Else if C is Y, then I am going to increase this character, right? And now whenever I see yeah, so from the beginning I'll start, and whenever I see if f of Y is still there, and that C is really X, then I'm just going to change it to Y, and f of Y I'm going to reduce it. And now again I'm going to check from the back, and whenever I find out X, I'll reduce it to Y. So in the meantime, I am also going to change f of X, or maybe a counter variable which will count count how many X's are gone. We'll count that, right? So now I am going to go from the reverse direction of S. So I also need the length of S, right? And ti equals to n minus 1, I is greater than I. Okay, so we can see if there is counter, how many changes that I have done, and in the same time I am also going to have to check how many Y's are there in the end. So there will be f of Y, correct? So whenever I changed those X, I have to I have to make the X somewhere, right? So I'm going to keep it in wherever Y was actually, right? Those X Okay. So whenever it sees x, it's, but what if x's are more? There are more x's. If there are more x, then y is just going to be finished. But if there are still y's, then I have to make those x's. Okay, so first of all, I have this concern is that if the x's are less, well, I don't really need to do all these things, but yeah, even if this will work, but there are, because it only says that it should be an arrangement. I could have just not change anything at all. But let me make this clear. If there is some y's in the front, okay, so all of the x's that are there, I have to change them with these things. But if number of y's which are there is very less, then it's okay, I am done. But if there are still some number of y's that are there, even after I deleted all of them, there is still some number of y's that are there. Okay, for that, what I am going to do, well, that's never going to happen, right? All of either this is big or this is big. If this is big, then all of the y's will be finished. If this is big, then all of the x's has to be finished. So I can just directly say that if one of them has to be finished, right, from the front. So now from the back, I'm just going to reduce this y's from the front. So yeah, if s of I is equals to y, or sorry, y, then s of y equals to x, and I'm just going to count f of y minus, right? This is the thing that I'm going to do, and return as, I think this should work, because in the end what matters is any one of them will always be finished. If something is more, the other thing will be finished. If y is less, then y will be finished. So I'm just dependent on this count. I don't have to have this f of y, I don't really need this, and just the count variable is alright, because if all of them are finished, then also the count is going to save it, because the x's that are finished, like if count, let's say the y is less, sorry, the x's are less and y's are more, then all the x's will be finished, and I'm going to this is going to work, fine. So let's try to see what do I get for the first one. Letter A, C should come first. As you can see, it is really the thing, and we can see that B should come first. B is coming first, right? That's all right. O should come first, so yeah, we can see that X should come first, so there is no O, so it's fine. So I hope this works. Yeah, it did get passed. Okay, now let's talk about this maximum value of an alternating sequence. You are given three integers and s and m that we can clearly see. A sequence S of integers of length n is considered valid if sequence of 0 is S. Alright, so yeah, there is some sequence, and the first value of the sequence should be s, correct, and the length of the sequence should be n, and so we have known the significance of these two, and we need to know this. Okay. Okay, the sequence is alternating, meaning that this or this, anything that we want, it should be an alternating sequence. So we should try to see check for both of them. So for every pair, this should be what this is what should be happening, right? All right. So if it's an alternative sequence, so one thing we can do is go ahead with this definition. Another thing that we can do is go ahead with this definition, right? But actually the thing is, we don't need both of the equations, right? We just need any one of them, and let me tell you why. Because the approach, when I want to make it decreasing, the first time when I am going to input a value which is lesser than its previous one, I am not going to I'm just going to decrease it by 1, because I need to find the maximum possible element that can appear in a parallel sequence. So if the n is odd, how many times can I subtract really? So from 1 to n it becomes even, so there is only even number of times I can subtract 1, correct? So for even numbers, I think I need to check for both. No, actually not. Only, sorry, for odd number of times I don't need to check for both. There is always going to be one of them, one of the elements, because the maximum time you will be reducing them. If m will be at least 1, right? So the maximum time you will try to reduce it will be n by 2 if n is odd, right? Similarly for here. So no matter what you do, you are obviously always trying to reduce it by 1. So let's say if you have a sequence 0 and you are trying to make it this alternative thing, so this is going to be sequence of 0 plus m, but it will be minus 1, right? Correct, because this is sequence of 0 minus 1, so this will be sequence of 0 minus 1 plus m, and the next should again it's going to be the same thing. So maybe I should create a long ends which should be initially s. Okay, so answer 1 maybe, and similarly for long ends 2, maybe I should just, why waste time thinking about only one possible way, just try both of the possible ways. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. This will be the first time when it comes, it should be reducing, right? So let's try to reduce it, and I'm also getting wrong answer, which will be initially s, because we need to find the maximum possible element that can occur. So the this will be an element that will contribute to the maximum possible element as well. So so let's try to find it out and do that. Okay, so when I try to find for the second element here, I will really not find the second element, right? Here I am going to find the first element, here I am going to find the second element. Okay, so let's try to do that. So if I find the second element, it will be something like from second element will be from 0 because this is 0, so this will be the second element, sorry, third element. So third element will be s minus 1, so answer equals to answer 1 minus 1 plus n, correct? This is what it's going to happen, right? So answer will always try to increase no matter what. And let's talk about answer 2. Now here I am going to talk about the the second element. Alright, so second element is just going to be so the first second element will be s plus m, right? Maybe I should do it here. For int I equals to 1, I is less than n, I plus equals to 2. This will be answer 2 is equals to, so I found out the first element. Now for the third element that we need, because we already found out for this, the first element, so now the third element, it will be answer 2 plus m minus 1, correct? Right, and I am just going to take the maximum. So one thing that could happen is that n can be 1, right? So there is no way that you should be doing this, because if n is 1, then you will not be able to do it. So let me start from 1 only, and here what I will do for the first thing is that let me manipulate this thing a little bit. S plus 1 minus m, right? Let me do this. So when I do this for the first, it will become automatically, it will become s minus 1 plus m, correct? Wait, because this is s plus m, so this should have been s plus 1, okay. Yeah, if n equals to 1, then s else, okay, now it should work, else s plus m, okay. Now this is going to be the thing. I think this will work now, right? Now the I don't need this answer, I just need the maximum value of answer 1 and answer 2. Let's see if, okay, so the first one is 12, which is correct, 7, which is also correct. Let's try to submit this value. There will be wrong answers, or time limit exceed what? What is the constraint? Oh, so yeah, I didn't see the constraint properly. It shows 10 to the power minus 9. So yeah, it's quite simple actually. This is an AP, right? This is really an AP, and with a okay, so d is equals to m minus 1 for sure, and this is really an AP, just an AP, right, where d is m, a is s, correct. So this is the thing. And okay, so now what we want to do is try to find the n, really. So for this one, as we can see, the n is just going to be n divided by 2, right. How many 2's are there? So let me write it down to, let's say, 3 and 4 and so on to n. And for this case, we are trying to go from the third case, right. So if it's odd, then we will have that contribution to that particular thing as well. If it's even, we are really not going to have a contribution to it. So it's really just n plus 1 by 2, right, for the first case. And for the second case, what we are doing is considering from the fourth case, right, from the fourth case till n, and we are always trying to divide it by 2. So how many this is the first one, this is the second, right. So obviously n minus 2, right, these are the number of n minus 2 plus 1, these are the number of total number of terms. And if this is an odd number, we actually have contribution to that. So I'm again going to do this and divide it by 2. So you will see that it's just n by 2, right. It's not a big deal. So there are n by 2 of this and there are n by 2 of that. So yeah, that's it. So now what we will do, if 2 is less than or equals to n, this is what we are going to do. We are going to, answer 1 is just going to be s plus n plus 1 by 2 minus 1, correct. Times what, m times, and yeah, this should be long, so let me make it long, yeah. Similarly, if 3 is less than or equals to n, then I'm going to do this. Long m times n by 2 and then minus 1. And I don't need these all things at all, right. Wait, one more thing is that this should be ans 1 and this should be ans 2. Okay, it's giving 7, but it's giving 13 this time, which is really not what I wanted. Okay, so what is wrong here? Why is it giving 13? So like, because 4 is, so I am not able to count it properly. 2, 3 and so on. I just need to count how many numbers are there, how many terms are there, which has, because I'm only counting from here, right. This is s, and okay, this is S and this is something we need to find out, right? So how many terms are there? If n is odd, correct? If n is odd, I am always going to the odd number. So if n is odd, I will have a contribution to that as well. So if I do directly n by 2, I will not get the last odd number, correct? But if I do just n plus 1 by 2, I can get the last number. So if n is even, then I am not going to get significance to the last, right? If it's even, then I just need to do n by 2, right? N by 2, and the answer will be just that. I think this should work. I don't know what's wrong. This is really the formula. And for here, if I talk about this, one more thing. I think this n is actually, we are talking about, we're trying to get to here. This is actually not 2 but 3, and this, if you think about this, then it's starting from here and going to the fourth one. This should be the thing. And yeah, so 2, 4, and it's just n by 2. If it's even, if it's odd, it's n by 2. If it's even, it's n by 2. So that's what we have really done here. And when it's on 2, it's s plus m. So it should have worked. I don't know why it's not working. Let's try to submit it again. It's giving me 13 for some reason. Oh yeah, it's m minus 1, right? I forgot about this one. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay, so let me try to submit it again. Yeah, it got accepted. So yeah. So now minimum adjacent swaps to partition array. So as we can see that we have a nums and we have two integer arrays, and that's what we can see. And one more thing is given, is that a is less than b, right? An array is called good if it can be split into 3 contiguous parts in this order such that, okay, so every element in the first part is less than a. What? Okay, every element in the second part is in the range a to b inclusive. Every element in the third part is greater than b. Alright, any of the 3 parts may be empty, and in one adjacent swap you may swap 2 neighboring elements, right? Okay, find the minimum number of adjacent swaps required to make a nums good. Since the answer is maybe very large, just return it modulo this. Yeah, so what we really need to think about here. Okay, before I try to think, let me see what rank I am in. I think it should be 4 digits. Yeah, it's 4 digits, and it's almost going to be 5 digits in a while, so I need to do this as quickly as possible to have a better rank. And yeah, so let's try to do it. Yeah, so you want to swap 2 adjacent numbers, and minimum swaps of adjacent numbers that you need to do such that you will be having 3 parts and 1 part might be empty, right? Yeah, so what really you need to do is, what really we need to do is that first of all, if we have to do partition of 3, then one thing is pretty sure that okay, it can be, so there are n numbers, and we need to place 2 sticks, like 2 sticks, so that it will have 3 partitions, right, in these n numbers. So there are n plus 2 vacancies where this can end up, right, and we just need to do nc2, which is just going to be this thing by 2, right. So there are n square ways, and I really cannot come up with all the ways. Yeah, that's for sure. There is a snake. I don't know, man. It looks like there is a snake. There is like a long hiss sound. I don't know if it's from pressure cooker or snake. Anyways, okay, no problem. Yeah, so what we were thinking is, yeah, swapping the numbers. So what we can do, we can try to find out how many elements are actually lesser than b, right? Yeah, how many elements are actually lesser than a, that's what we need to find out. How many elements are yeah, so we also need to find the index of those elements which are lesser than a, right? And we need to bring all of those things which are strictly lesser than a. I think is that what is, yeah, strictly, wait, what is this, is less than a, and yes, less than a, it just means strictly less than a. And we need to find all of those which are strictly greater than b, right? So let's try to find out int lesser, or maybe wait, maybe long, and also I need this modulo thing, right, which is 1 in 9 plus 7. All right, yeah, so what we will do is we'll try to find out how many elements are lesser than a, and how can we bring them. Okay, so one of the things that we can do is sort nums by making a temporary variable, right, for nums, right. After making a temporary variable, we'll sort nums, and then when we sort nums, obviously there are going to be places you will know where, you will not know where, but in particularly where you should put those a's. Right, okay. I think I can solve this problem, I think I can solve this problem. I just need to think about it a little bit more. So yeah, let's try to do it normally. So first we will try to find out how many A's are there in a count 1 which are lesser than A, and where are they, right? Yeah, so for example, int I equals to 0, this is where you need to put the first A, correct? So so sorry, let me make everything long for a while. I don't know why, but I want to fit it. Okay. Okay, so I think I got this thing. This is a temporary variable, and yeah, so firstly, if nums of y is greater than a, greater than or equal to a, what I'll really do is just add this to the temp dot and place back nums of y, correct? Else if it is lesser than a, then what I'll do is not count how many numbers are actually lesser, but I'm just directly going to write this thing, right? Directly going to how much swaps you're going to need to do this thing. So if you are at a particular, if your element which is less than a is at a particular index I, and you want it to move to j, right? You want it to move to j. So how many swaps do you need? One, right? So you need to come across j minus I, right? J minus I, sorry, I minus j, and j plus plus. That's what we will do, right? This is quite good now. Okay, so now we are done with this thing. Now after I do this, each and every a is, which is each and everything which is less than a is going to be on the left side, and all the things which are greater than or equal to b is going to be greater than or equal to a is going to be on the right side. Now we are just going to have to deal with the elements which are just exactly greater than b, right? So we are going to do it from the back, and now j will be from n minus 1, and yeah, for int I is greater than equals to, okay, so here what I'll do is not n, but I'll change the n to temp dot size, correct? Now I'll be dealing with this thing. Okay, so what we will do, we will see if b or temp of I is actually greater than b. If it's greater than b, then I am going to add, okay, before I do that, before I add it to the count, I have this simple thing that I forgot to do, is this modulo mod, correct? Here also I am going to do the same thing, count plus what I'll do, I am at I, j is the thing that we have, j minus I, correct, and modulo mod, right, and I am going to subtract j and return count. That's it. I hope this works. Okay, I have not nums dot size. Yeah, so first one is 1, second is 5, third is 0. It should work. It did work. Alright, so minimum cost to convert string 3. Yeah, so let's see what is the rank now. I don't know. I really have this urge to see my rank. Okay, it is somehow degraded because I think it takes some time to actually process the rankings. Maybe that's why I'm still at 4 digits. But anyways, so let's try to do this question now. Okay, so the minimum cost to convert string 3. Okay, you're given 2 strings, source and target. That's what is here, and you're also given 2D string rules, which is this thing, pattern and replacement. All right. Yeah, so this I don't even feel like reading this somehow. Like somehow I know that I will not be able to solve this. I don't know why, because you see how many users got accepted. I mean, this question is for you will learn something new, and I'll be thinking this question like that and try to solve the question. Okay, so we have source and target. It almost looks like a graph problem, but I think it's not going to be something like that. And these are just edges, I think. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that sometimes thinking like this is also going to help. Pattern and replacement. An integer array A costs, which is this. These are weights, I think. Is the base cost of applying rules I. Yeah. Both arrays have the same length. Yeah. Additionally, pattern I and replace I have the same length. Wait, what? Oh, they are strings. Okay. Yeah. So they also have the same length. You may apply any rule any number of times. Each rule application works as follows. What does that even mean? You may apply any rule any number of times. Each rule application works as follows. What the fuck? Oh shit. Yeah, so you may apply any rule any number of times. Each rule application works. Like, what do I need to even do? Like, I don't understand. Let's read this. Choose an index L such that range of positions from L to L plus pattern of I. What? Pattern of I, are they numbers or what? With at most 5-star characters. Oh shit. This is something phenomenal. Yeah, so the range of positions from L to. Okay, so this is the whole thing, right? Pattern of minus pattern L plus pattern dot length minus 1 exists in the correct string. Okay, what? XL such that the range of positions from L to is in the current string and none of this. What does that even mean? Two strings that I have and of the same length additionally have same length. Okay. Okay. Like, what does that even mean? Like, you are at a I am at index L such that the range of positions of from L to L plus pattern I dot length minus 1. Exists in the current string and none of these positions have been used in a previous rule application. What the actual fuck? I'm not even understanding the question. How will I solve it? Choose at index L such that the range of positions from L to L plus pattern dot length pattern I dot length minus 1 exists. Current string and none of these positions have been used in the previous rule application. Right. Okay, let's try to understand the next rule. Okay, for each index j, the character pattern of j must either be equal to current character at position L plus j or b star. What do you mean? Whoa. Must be equal to the current character at position L plus j. At each index j, the character at pattern I of j must be equal to the current character at position L plus j. What? Or b star mark. Okay, this is not just hard, it's too hard to even understand. Okay, my brain's not working. Let's try to see how much. Oh man, why the heck do I have so bad rank always? Like, how do the people solve so fast? Like, literally look at this. People has not even solved it. Okay, they have already solved it. How did they solve it so fast? It does not contain wildcards. Choose an index L such that the range of positions L to L plus pattern I dot length minus 1 exists in the current string and none of these positions have been used in the previous rule application. Right. None of these positions have been used in the previous rule application. Okay, for each j, the character. Okay, at first I choose L, and then I have to choose j for each name, not j actually. For each index j, the character pattern of I of j must either be equal to the current character position L plus J. Okay, so for each index J, pattern of I of J must be equal to L plus J or be this. Okay, so L plus J, so this will be something else. Okay. Replace the characters in this range with replacement I. The replacement is used exactly as given and does not contain wildcards. Is used exactly as given and does not contain wildcards. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Ooh, said you nod your head, yes. What you want is to know. Exactly as given and does not contain wildcards. Where the heck is wildcards? The cost of this rule application is cost of I. Yeah, plus the number of characters in pattern. Is this going to be a DP question? Like, what the actual hell is going on? Like, I literally have no idea how to solve this. Like, no idea at all. Like, because I'm not even able to understand the question. That's the problem. What does this even mean? Replace the character in this range with replacement I. Like, which characters are you talking about? Which characters? I have L and I have J, and for all the J's I have to satisfy this thing, correct? For each J I have to satisfy this thing. Yeah. And now I'll replace the characters in this range with replacement I. So all of the things which were here, I need to replace them with this, and replacement is used exactly as given and does not contain wildcards. What does this mean, and does not contain wildcards? I'm an uneducated person, guys. I don't understand this. Okay, so let's try to understand the next rule. Like the cost of this rule application is cost I plus the number of in the characters in the pattern I. All right. Once a character at position has been used in a rule application, it cannot be used later any rule character. What? Once a character position has been used in a rule application, it cannot be used in any later rule application. Okay, fine. Since every pattern and replacement have the same length, characters positions are preserved after every rule application. This is surely a DP question, guys. I'm getting a feeling of this. Like greedy, no. Good luck doing greedy here. Like even if you do DP, I think, yeah, I can do n square, right? N square, almost like an n square, like 25 times 10 to the power 6, I guess. Source target consists of lower English letters. Right. Yeah, I'm just going to check for the video tutorial of question number 4, because I don't seem to get any idea for now. like let's try to understand some of the examples, maybe then I'll get something. So yeah, so like let me try to apply what I have understood so far. So I have this, I have to make this to this. So these are the things that we can do. So let me try to use this rule at first. So I will be like, okay, there is this, and I'll make it this. Can I make this? Well, yeah, for sure, yeah. The cost is 4, and then I'll make this to this. Cost is 3 and cost is 7. This was so easy. Let's try to solve this one. Okay, so I need to make the cat a dog, correct? So okay, so I can either have this thing. Okay, so I let me choose L as this, and as you can see I have these characters really. So now every j either must be equal to this, or this star mark is also fine. Wait, let me try to see if pattern I and replacement I is alright, but what about source and target only? Okay, so only the pattern I consists of the star mark characters. Great. Okay, so pattern I am going to have this cost 2 plus number of star marks which is just 1, so it will be just 3. Alright. Okay, so source is test. Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay, I think I might be able to do this. I don't know, I just trying to guess. Well, is like if it is impossible it can minus 1. Okay, so there are impossible. Okay, so when is it going to be impossible that I can never make the source equal to target? If there are no rules that converts this to any character in target, correct? Any string in target or any character in target, then you are just cooked. Yeah, so firstly we need to we need to keep those rules which we are going to have some profit to, not some, right? Because there are going to be some rules that we don't really have nothing to do with, and if all of the rules are like that, then there will be -1. But even if there are valid rules, then also we can get a -1, because let's say it only converts E to a T, then I am cooked, right? Because I have so many other values that I want to convert. So yeah, and also when it has overlapping patterns, right? Overlapping pattern is also not going to give me the fruitful result, correct? So the first thing is no string in target. Correct. The first one is this. Then it is going to result in a -1. Secondly, there can be overlapping only, overlapping or not overlapping at all, not overlapping and disjoint. Correct. Yeah, there are disjoint. I don't know, man. How many rules are going to be there? So there are 20 rules and each of them has 20, so 20 times this thing, right? Only overlapping, and the third is it's a union doesn't result in the target. Only those rules I have. If these three things are there, then we'll out -1. Okay. Yeah, this is good. So firstly we need to see the rules, right, and see if the target rules. Target is, length of the target is what? Okay, 200. And the length of the target is 5000 at max. And I'll check for each of the rules. 2000 would be almost like 4000, and yeah, I'm going to check for all of them. Yeah, it's alright, I guess. Each of them I'm going to check for. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to merge this because it is really giving me a big headache, right? What I'll do, I'll merge not only this, but I'm also going to merge this as well. So firstly what we will do is make a particular pair. Let's say something like this, right? Here I am going to store the left index, here I am going to store the right index, okay, and here I am going to give the cost. So I am going to store all of this in a vector v, let's say, and what I'll do for each rule, I'll check which of the particular sliding window. Okay, so yeah, for each of the string on rules. Okay. So p of 0 is just, you know, this thing, sorry, pattern, and p of target is, I don't know what, so string pattern, which is, and I need target, right, t, it's not target, it's actually replacement, which is p of 1. Now what we will do, we'll try to make a sliding window of, yeah, so sliding window of length len, which is r1 dot size, or maybe length, whichever is you prefer, and length of the source, which is source dot length, right? And we are, instead of doing this, right, we can just directly say p of 0 dot length, and we don't need to make an extra strings, but it's okay actually. Yeah, I am going to do this, anti I equals to 0 and j equals to len minus 1. Now while j is less than n, I am going to try to figure out which of the source it matches. So like if p of 0 dot sub str of j times len is, oh okay, I don't need j, right? A is enough, I is enough, I is enough. So n minus len is just going to give me the position of length, right? This is fine. So I plus I of length of kya, p of 0 dot sub str, if this is okay, I think this should not be p, this should be source sub str of this is equals to p of 0, and target dot sub str is equals to p of 1, right? Then we are going to you know, yeah, one more thing is that I need one more variable actually to store the cost, where in the cost I am. So let's say the index of cost, right, or which index am I currently doing these things on. Yeah, so v dot emplace back, yeah, what am I going to emplace back? The first thing that I'll do is p of well, I, okay, so costs of I or k, right? This is what I'll do, comma I comma, what will be j will be I plus len minus 1. This is what I'll emplace back, right? And then in the end I'm going to just, you know, do this thing, and also here do this thing because of this. Yeah, so now in this vector I need all of the information that I want, and yeah, so now I need to play with this vector here. What I need is I need to transform this source into target. Okay, one more thing is that I really want to there are a lot of times when the the p of 0 is actually not equals to the source dot substr of this thing, because of the one of the reason is this thing, right? These characters that we have. So we need to check in really not in this way. Instead we can just check it like this, j which is equals to 0, right, while j is less than I plus len and j is less than n. This is what we will do. If yeah, so one of the thing is that it's j is always going to be less than n, right? Because I plus len is always less than n, less than or equal to n, so it's fine. We don't need to check about that. And yeah, source. Okay, so I also need a boolean value. Boolean check equals to initially. Let me get it false or not false really, like yeah, false. Yeah, okay, this works. Source of j is equals to source of j is equals to, okay, source of j is, I think that's not what we really need. J is starting from 0 and j is going to go till I plus len, which is not really what I want, but yeah, they should start from I instead, right? Now source of j is starting from I is equals to this star mark or yeah, p of 0 of j minus I, correct, or p of 0 of j minus I is equals to star mark. Then yeah, we will count the star marks as well. To count the star marks, so if okay, else if oh wait, what am I doing? Else if p of 0 of j minus I is star mark, then I am going to increase the counter and it's still fine, right? If both of the things are false, then I just say that just break. So okay, so how do I know if so if and only if j is equals to I plus len, then we are sure that it has passed all of them. But if it's not, then we are in a problem, right? So if this is happening, then yeah, I'm just going to say j plus plus, and if this is happening, then also I'm going to say j plus plus. So there is no need of having a variable check, and instead of this, yeah, in the same time, I am not only going to check this, but the target of j should also be equals to p of 1 of j minus I, correct? Similarly for here. So instead of writing this here, what I might do is doing this, correct, and putting these values over here. Right. If target of j is equals to p of 1 of j minus I, if this is happening and some of the things in this case is happening, then I do this. Yeah, j is increasing here, also j is increasing, and I don't know why j is not blue here. Anyways, j minus not I, not 1, I, it should be I. Yeah, so when you see that that j is equals to I plus len, what you will do is, cost of j plus count is, you're going to put these two things, and we are also going to put p of what we're going to put, I comma j, or I plus len minus 1, or j minus 1 as well, it will work. Yeah. If this is happening, then do this, and then move on to the next part. Maybe I can use Moore's algorithm here, right? I might be able to use Moore's algorithm, but just doing brute force will work, I think. But yeah, I am not sure about that, but we'll try to do that. So after you do this, you are done with this, you make this I plus 1, then again this thing will start to do, and when it's finished, I'm going to do k plus 1, and it's going to go to the next rule, right? And it will try to do this again and again, and when it's finished, okay, so this, I think this is the, okay, so when it's finished, now I need to do some things, right? We know the cost, we know everything now, and now I just need to do some brute force. I can use dp, or I can also use Moore's algorithm. Like, at first you really need this v to actually, this v okay, so at this cost, I can just rearrange these things in terms of L, right? And then we'll just try to do some brute force approach to figure out what we can do, what we cannot. I think that will work, I don't know, but I am believing it's going to work. And to be honest, I don't really like the fact of doing it like this. A simple array of in 3 will work, but it's much better. So I'm not going to do this, but I'm just going to do push back here. This is much better, correct? Yeah, once I do this, I really need to do something with this, like I minus 1 j, and I need to take care of j plus 1 and then that, and maybe recursion can do this, maybe not, we don't know. We can still sort this in terms of I. The only problem is yeah, I'm not trying out all the possibility. I need to try out all the possibility, right? I can just use dp here, maybe. So maybe if I talk about dp of I, it is just going to try to get over all of dp of I plus or maybe I of j minus 1 or r, maybe let's say call this L. So dp of r plus 1, and I'm going to take the minimum of all those dp of r plus 1, which is for what we are going to do is try to get through all of these vectors, all vectors, and the cost to do this will be costs of I, and this will be Ri basically, or IR, whatever you call it to be, or maybe V of I of 1 and I of 0 for all vectors which have this dp cost. I think this will work. Cost of I, and this is actually V of 0, and this is actually 2, and this is 1, actually 1, yeah. But you are actually not going to find out something like this because of several reasons. You have to you are not directly going to find this out, right? So you needed to make a graph instead of what I just did here, correct? So maybe I can just do it like this, v of n maybe, and I know n, right? So start like that. Yeah, this will work. And instead of this, we are just going to deal with I here, right? And then what we will do is, instead of putting cost of j count time, we are going to put this back, like just like a graph, just like a graph problem, right? This will solve a lot of my problem. So now this becomes actually v of, let's say you're talking about I, right, v of, so let's say we are talking about I. Now it is going to check for all of those v of v of i's, right, v of I का जो जितने सारे j's है and cost of those values, right? So this will become 0, right, and this will become v of I of 0 and 1, right? V of I is going to have a lot of j's, correct, and their weights as well. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to go j's and which is just j's and u's. This will be cost plus, sorry, w's, correct? Yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. This is really what I will need. dp of j plus 1, and j is just vi. We are just going to go for all j belongs to vi, correct? j comma w, right? Auto j comma w. I don't know if auto will work in the case of arrays or not, but so let me make it pair instead, right? I want to deal with pain. Yeah. So for all auto this I want to take the minimum of this thing. So this is going to be it. Now what will be the base case? Base case is just going to be dp of n, correct, when it reaches, when it is at the end, in the end. So let me write a dp here. So 1d dp, it's going to be almost like length of v. So length of v can never be okay. So const int n, which is, I am not going to complete it on time, but yeah, I think I'll still do whatever I have to do. So 3, okay, in dp of n, right, the base case, which will be for anti-I, equals to yeah, wait, dp of n, which will be equals to, what will be the cost? It will be 0, right? Now for anti I equals to n minus 1 is less than equals to 0, I minus minus, what I'll do, I'll just check for all the vi's, right? And dp of I, or maybe int maximum equals to int, yeah, I did not complete it on time, but no worries. Oh sorry, I will hit the minimum. So for anti j equals to yeah, so I'll do this thing, pair or maybe auto of j comma w of v of I, right? J comma w, as you can see. And really I don't want this to look like, not very professional. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll try to get the minimum here. So minimum is equals to min of minimum comma dp of j plus w, right? I need w cost to change those things. I did that, and then I went to dp of j plus 1 actually, correct? And then dp of I is equals to minimum. That's it. And then in the end I am just going to return dp of 0. What? Okay, yeah, this is what I needed, right? Runtime error, what? What is happening, guys? How can I get a runtime error? Cost of j minus 1 it will be. Cost of k actually. Yeah. Yeah, for I think like v of I will actually, if it doesn't actually have anything, so I will do that. Okay, so is it like some long or something like that, or what? Because j is always going to be bigger than I, right? Because of this thing. So even if it's equal, I am going to always go to yeah, what's happening, guys? Simple dp is not working. simple dp is not working. Why is this the case, guys? I mean, it's not going to get past n, right? The cost of it's just 0. Okay, so if and only if dp of j of 1 is lesser than int max, then I'll do this. Yeah. Okay, so all of them are wrong. Why is this the case? I think okay, so all of them are giving wrong answers. All of them are giving just int max. Why is this the case? So let me try to dry run this. I think this is quite correct approach. I don't know why it is not working. It shouldn't be like this. J is, I think I have not declared any J's. I only declared J inside this, so that's not a problem. And source of J is equals to P of J, then do this. If that's not equal, if source of J is not equal to P, then if P is this thing, then I will do this, then I'll do J plus plus, and if none of the thing is happening, then not equal, and then it's also not this, then I will just break it. Yeah, so I don't know what's wrong here. Vector of pairs, I think these pairs, this should have worked. So let me try to dry run this. Okay, so you have this, so this will become I equals to 0, right? What am I doing here? Length and we have 0 dot length, yeah, and I am currently having I equals to 0. I am going towards all of those i's and trying to figure out if they are actually equal or not. If j equals to this, then do this. If it is not, then I know that there have been some inequalities, so get out of it and do I plus plus again. And for each of all of the sorts, I am doing this particular thing that I'm doing it. N minus length, I think n minus length, you should also go till n minus length, right? Yeah, n minus length. N minus 1 minus length. Yeah, so I think this should be something like this, but yeah, so okay, almost correct. Yeah, so if oh my god, what's happening? If dp of 0 Shit, I should have done it, man. I should have literally done it. Then return -1. Okay. Yeah. Shit, man. This was... Okay, again gave wrong answer. Why? What's wrong now? Why is it giving wrong answer, guys? Is there some things that I'm not doing properly or what? Is there some rules that I'm not taking care of, or is this the problem? I plus length, it should be lesser than I plus length, right? What's wrong, guys? Or maybe I'm doing some mistake in this counting or counting thing. Oh yeah, I think yes. Okay, source of, if this is not equal, if this is equal, I'm pretty sure that P of this can never be this, correct? But if it is this, then I'll increase the counter. Okay, what's wrong now? What is wrong, guys? No idea. The n minus length is okay, but j should be moving from I to I plus length -1, right? So exactly that's what I'm doing, checking for all of those characters, and if I find out that it's not equal, I just don't give a damn and do I plus plus, and again it's going to start the same thing. But if it's something like this, then what's wrong? What is wrong? Shit, man, I could... Never thought that I'd see this thing, this whatever I'm seeing. If this is not the case, okay. This is not the case, break. If this is the case, just, and one of them is the case, then do j plus plus. Everything is fine. What's wrong? Okay guys, that's it for today's video, and I don't know if I have no idea why this thing is wrong. This should have given me the answer. The only possible thing that I might have, like, there is something that, you know, I'm not counting, or maybe something like that is happening here. target is equal to this, then only I'm going into it. Maybe I'm missing some of the cases. That's what I'm thinking. That should not really be it. At this point, I have no idea. You did give a perfect answer for these cases, but it failed these cases. And why did it fail, man? Why? Alright guys, that's it for today's video. See you in the next contest. Let me see my rank, guys. What is my rank in the end? It's going to be like 5,000 or something like that. I think it's going to be 5,000 or 6,000 maybe. I'm thinking. Yeah, the ranking is taking so much time. Okay, 4,000, that's not very good. Anyways, bye bye guys. That's it. I'll try to solve this problem later.